Hello, thank you so much for joining me again. As ever, it means a lot to me. And I'm back with the Christmas cactus that his is actually flowering now. Or maybe it's an Easter cactus that's flowering early. I don't know, whatever. It is beautiful and I absolutely love that colour. Glorious. So, what I want to talk about today is just what makes people stay. And I mean stay in a relationship, stay in a marriage, stay in a job, a career. What makes them do that if they're not happy, if they're not content, if they don't feel that it's where they should be, but they stay? In some cases, it could be for family reasons. I know when we moved over to Cheshire from Lincolnshire, we wanted to wait for the time in our son's education that was a good time to move, rather than, excuse me, sorry about that, pause for a cough. We didn't want to move when they were in the middle of a course, and it just so happened that they both hit a good time to move at the same time. Otherwise, I'm not sure what would have happened. Probably would have stayed until they both got through those stages. So sometimes there are reasons like that. And for others, what are their reasons? Well, maybe you've sunk a lot into that marriage, that relationship. Maybe you set up a business and you've sunk a lot of capital into it, a lot of you into it, and you don't want to let that go. Even if you feel that you could, it is a sellable option, that you could sell it to somebody else who could take it over. If not, then it's a different thing, isn't it? If you feel it's not saleable, then that option is disappearing, and you maybe have to think of selling just the property, which is what happened with my dad and his business. And I have to say that was heartbreaking. They'd been in the business of being wholesale stationers for I don't know, probably about 30, 40 years. But their main customers were corner shops, and a lot of the corner shops were being sold off. So business went, and my auntie, who was a partner with my dad, retired, so all of the pressure was on my dad. And it meant that they had to sell all of the stock that was left, obviously at knockdown prices, and then to sell the property. And the property was an old mill. They used to make trimmings for going on lampshades and clothes and all sorts. And when my dad moved into the warehouse, it was great going through it all, seeing what had been left. But I went back to the area some years ago and was delighted to see that it's being used, it's been revamped, it's been given a new lease of life, and it looked great. So that was good. But if you've put a lot of you into something, it's often hard to give it up. And also, you don't want to appear a loser. If you walk out on a business, if you walk out on a relationship that you might have put a lot of emotional effort into, a lot of emotional support, supporting your partner, and it's just not working. So sometimes, just sometimes, you have to think carefully. What do you value? What do you value most? Wealth? Happiness? Health? I see those as the main three. There's probably others, but for me, the health has to come top. If you are struggling either physically, mentally, or emotionally, battling on is not a good thing. Maybe something somewhere is telling you it's time to let go. It's time to get out. And many of the people who've commented on the Let Them Just Let Them video, they feel that letting people go is, in a way, letting them get away with things. But it's not. It's letting them go so that you can thrive. You can be content again. You can find happiness where there wasn't any happiness. But again, it's not always easy, because it might come down to money rather than wealth, that you haven't got an independent income. You're stuck in that house with that person. So then it becomes down to negotiating, and that's when it can get pretty iffy. But for the sake of your health, it has to be done. So what do you value? Let's say, oh gosh, I shouldn't be saying this at this time with the dreadful fires in Los Angeles, where they seem to be spreading so quickly that people have just had to get up and leave. But if you knew that fire was coming, or if you knew a flood was rising, what would be the first thing that you grabbed to take away with you? I'm not going to say what I would grab. Well, apart from Mishka, that would obviously be absolutely the first thing. And I would be fighting him as we went out, because he doesn't like being carried. So maybe it could be the only thing that I would take out. But have a think, because that tells you a lot about yourself. And for some of us, it would be very practical. For others, it would be very emotional things. So have a think. What would you take out first? Have a think if you're in a relationship, a marriage, a job that isn't giving you what you need in life. What are your opportunities, especially in the job front? But have you got the necessary qualifications to change? If not, how do I get them? Can I get them? Do I want to get them? Do I want to invest that time? Get it out of going round and round in your head. Get a piece of paper. I know everybody uses phones and whatever, but for me, if it's on a piece of paper, then you can see it, you can put arrows between it, it works. And I say that with great feeling, because I have an ancestry thing that I'm doing, and it gets so frustrating that I can only see little tiny bits of my family tree at once. I want to see the whole kit and caboodle, and I can't. But have a think. Just what do you need? What's important to you? What's keeping you where you are? What changes do you need to make? Do you want to change? Do you need to change? Two very different things. And what happens if you make those changes? So thank you. And I will now get the Christmas cactus out of the back of my hair. I can feel that it's trying to join in with my yeah, it's in my hair. Take care for now. Bye. Speak to you soon. Bye for now. Bye.